Hello everybody, I'm Maxi. Welcome to a new episode. Lately, I realized that there is one English word that is very tricky when people translate it into Chinese. And this word is politician. There are actually two words in Chinese that you can translate politician into. And their meanings are very different. They can completely change how you perceive a person. So this has left a huge gap for some people to manipulate narratives, or for rookie translators to make mistakes. So in Chinese, there are 政客 and 政治家. So first, 政客. This is you can say the bad one. If you call someone a 政客 in Chinese, you mean this person treats politics as a business deal. It's not necessarily saying this person is a bad person, but it means politics is just a job for this person. So this is a neutral word. But, because of how many politicians tend to behave, when you hear this word, usually nowadays the understatement is that they don't have principles, or that their principles are for sale for the highest bidder. And then that they are short-sighted, manipulative, they will say anything just to get in power. That's not usually what people think of when they hear 政客, though technically this is a neutral word. If you look at the characters separately, 政 means politics, and then 客, literally it means guest, visitor. But when it appears after a profession or an action, this is a way to form a word to mean people who do this. So together you can see 政客 is someone who does politics. Okay, that's 政客. And then you have 政治家. This one is the good one. You can say this word is reserved for political leaders who treat politics as a calling, a mission. A 政治家 is a visionist. They are willing to make a sacrifice for the long-term good of the country. They want to leave a legacy. If you try to look at the characters separately, as we said before, 政 means politics. 治 means govern, manage, and 政治 together is the go-to word for politics in modern Chinese. And then 家, if it appears after a profession or an action, it means a revered expert in this aspect. So together you can see it means a revered expert in politics. I think 政治家may be closer to the English word statesman, but if you throw it to translation apps like Google Translate, usually they just tell you politician. So you can see these two words have very different meanings. One is kind of a visitor, and the other is a builder. Not every politician can be called a 政治家. For example, Singapore's Lee Kuan Yew is usually seen as an 政治家. If you don't know who he is yet, he is called the founding father of modern Singapore. By the way, in Mandarin, we pronounce his name as Li Guangyao. The name Guangyao means light radiance. He was known for being brutally pragmatic, even ruthless if you ask his critics. But no matter which side you are on, I think it's hard to deny what he built. A small island with no natural resources became one of the wealthiest, safest, and most stable nations on Earth. So considering all this, I think he does fall into the category of 政治家. But he himself was not happy about that word. He was not happy about 政治家 under any circumstances. I remember he once said, anyone who sees themselves as a 政治家 should go see a psychiatrist. But people usually tend to see him as a 政治家. Okay, speaking of this, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about the suffix 家. It doesn't only appear here. In Chinese, basically, every profession can be translated into two versions. For example, painter can be translated into 画师 and 画家. 画师 is the ordinary version. 画 means draw, paint, or drawing, painting. And 师 here means a craftsperson. So you can see together it means a craftsperson who does drawing or painting. And then 画家 is the revered version. It means a revered expert of painting and drawing. Okay, another example. Singer can be translated to 歌手 and 歌唱家. 歌手 is the ordinary version. 歌 means song. 手 literally means hand, but it's a common suffix to mean a profession. So together you can see 歌手 means a professional of songs. And then 歌唱家 is the revered version. 唱 means sing. You'll notice that the revered version usually tend to be longer. So here together, 歌唱家 means a revered expert of singing songs. Examples like this goes on and on. We can't go through all of them here. Anyway, basically you can say all professions have two versions in Chinese. And by the way, usually you don't say I'm a what jia. Honors like this are given by people. You don't claim to be one. And when someone does this, except when it's a kid who says, I want to be a what when I grow up. When someone does this, claims to be a what jia, usually it becomes a joke. It's like saying, nobody knows something more than I do. You know who I'm talking about? But there is now an exception. There is a word that has become blurry. And that word is artist. We now usually just translate it into 艺术家. 艺术 means art, and 艺术家 is artist. This is actually not natural in Chinese, because usually you don't just say you do art. You don't just say you are a 艺术家. You tell people what kind of art you do when you introduce yourself. You say you are a singer, a musician, a painter, an actor. You don't just say you are an artist. Because 艺术, art, is already a reserved word for your crafts. When people acknowledge what you do, when they think what you do is really good, they call what you do art. That's how it naturally works in Chinese. But the art industry has been trying very hard to get integrated into the international English-dominated world. So the language here has been influenced by English. From what I see, the English word artist has become more and more casual, and that has affected how the Chinese word 艺术家 is used. But deep down, it's not natural in Chinese to speak like this. Naturally, you introduce yourself using the ordinary version word of your specific craft. And from what I see, many younger people now tend to say this in a self-deprecating way. They may say they are 搞艺术的. That literally means someone who does art. And some musician may tell you I'm a 搞音乐的. I'm someone who does music. Anyway, it's just not natural to say I'm an artist in Chinese. It's not natural to say I'm a 艺术家. Okay, that is today's video. I hope it's helpful. So, if English is not your mother tongue, does your language have a similar phenomenon like this? I'm very curious about that. Please leave a comment. And thank you all for watching this far. If you like this video, if you like what I do, please leave a like and subscribe. And besides all these videos, I now also post trivial knowledges in my membership thread. Trivial knowledges that are too trivial to make into videos. So there are memes, there are slang, there are concepts that I can't find equivalents in English. I'm posting them in my membership thread. So if you want to learn those things, subscribe to the membership. Anyway, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.